Welcome to Chat With Me. I have a fun and fabulous woman with me today. I'm your host, Robin Hofmann, and this lovely woman is Susan Sussman.
Hi.
Hi. Do you like that introduction?
Yeah, very good,
Nice.
very good.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad
I think it's fascinating. Mm-hmm. I got to meet you at a comedy club, which was great.
Yeah.
And it's because you are a comedian. Is that how you say it? Comedian?
Comedian.
Comic?
Yes.
I hear that more nowadays than I hear comedian. I hear comic.
Yes.
But when I think of a comic, I think of like a comic book. But
yeah, someone once defined it to me as you're not a comedian unless you've been doing it for a while and you get on the road. And
interesting. You have to earn that title.
Right. That you have to earn it.
I never heard that. So you're a comic until you're a comedian.
Right. Until you're making money from it.
Wow. So how did you get in this field? When did you start? I have all kinds of questions.
Well, it's crazy. I used to be a residential appraiser, for mortgages. And when the real estate crash, I worked for myself, and we used to use fax machines. And when the real estate crash happened, or right before it, my fax machine stopped working. And I'd been doing it for over 20 years at that point.
Wow.
And I came to the realization that that was my identity. And I've always been a creative person, a funny person. But I realized I said, wow, it's like this big void in my life.
Fax machines are not funny.
Right. And I would call colleagues, their fax machine stopped too, No work was coming in. So I took the opportunity, instead of lying on my deathbed and thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that. I took the opportunity. I started taking writing classes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I always wrote. I always wrote poetry and things like that. I always loved to write. So I took a class at a university. We had a writing center. I lived in Norfolk, Virginia. Excellent writing center. I started taking classes. So I started writing funny stories, and I wanted to make them funnier. So they had a comedy writing class, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it turned out, about 10 minutes within the course, the teacher says, in 8 weeks, you're all going to be doing 5 minutes of stand-up comedy in front of your friends and family. Now, it really pays to read a description, because I may not have ever done it.
It just looked like a good course to take. Didn't really read about it, walk in, and then they're like, all right, so by the end of this, you're going to have a 5-minute set. Wow.
So it was awesome. I started doing it. I have comedy in my family. I was brought up in that generation of one-liners. We used to go to the Catskills with our family on vacation, hear all these old famous comedians, Shecky Green, Henny Youngman, Buddy Hackett. I mean, there were all kinds of funny people. And my brother was in comedy in Hollywood, and my sister had been in improv for a couple of years. So I said, you know what? Let's see what happens. So it was a lot of fun performing in front of the class.
Yeah.
But then when I had to get on a stage and perform in front of 100 people, I just freaked out.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I froze.
You didn't get through the 5-minute set?
I got through it,
okay.
But they did a video, and I hope it's not on YouTube anywhere.
You don't want that to be what people remember.
No,
But I mean, when you first started, can I ask how old were you when you decided to do this?
I was 61.
So you have a couple of things, like being a woman in comedy is very different,
right.
And also being a little bit older, just starting out.
Right,
so I can see you freezing a little bit.
Yeah.
But are you over that stage right now?
I'm over it now.
Yeah.
I'm
you kind of get to the point when you get a little older that you just honestly you don't care what people think anymore. So it actually becomes funnier because you can make fun of yourself.
Right. And I hit that turn in the road about a year or two ago.
Okay.
Because I kept talking about things. Now, I'm very good at bridging the generational gap on stage and relating to the younger people and doing stuff from an old person's point of view. But I finally started talking about myself and aging.
Nice.
And physical stuff.
Because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
And every day there's something new. That's awesome.
Right. So, and then I was always trying to hide who I was and hide that I'm older. But it was obvious, and people on stage would make comments about older people or here comes grandma and stuff like that. So instead of feeling bad about it, I would just tag it.
Own it.
I would come back with own it
Yeah.
and come back with a tag.
And that's what's going to make you even more successful.
Right. So now I'm doing stuff and I'm not censoring myself anymore. I'm just talking about what I'm going through, my falling uterus.
Somebody catch it if it falls on the floor. Do me a favor, pick it up.
The falling boobs. I mean, all that stuff, and plus other
Gravity.
things. You know, losing estrogen.
Oh, okay.
Looking like my dad now. You know, those kind of a thing.
So, as a comic, or might I say, comedian, do you ever have people walk up to you if you say you're a comedian? Or they're like, say something funny?
Yeah, always.
Like, come on.
Always. Always. It gets annoying after a while.
Right.
You want to be polite. People will come up after a show. Oh, I'll have a line for you. I have a joke for you, and I'll listen and I'll thank them and I'll be polite. But and then the thing that also is interesting is when I go out with a group of friends. They always say we're having a conversation and it hits them as a funny, not something I necessarily say. They say, "Oh, put that in your act." You know, put that in your. They're always saying
right. People don't understand how it works.
Right.
I mean, it is a serious business, and you work hard at perfecting these jokes and your timing, and you also have to know your audience.
Yes.
Right. So you can be in a group of people, and you might not want to talk about fax machines if they're all 20 years old because they're going to be like, "What the heck is that?"
That's right. I even do a joke with E.T.
Oh,
and
funny. Yeah,
if it's an audience, a lot of younger people never saw the movie.
Wow.
So the punchline is, phone home, and they don't get it
like,
because.
what?
And I go, look, when you go home tonight, look at Netflix, look up
watch
E.T. Yeah.
Shame on you, parents, for not making your kids watch E.T. Wow, that's awesome.
There's a lot of
So
that.
besides being a woman and starting at an older age, do you have any other struggles that you deal with in comedy? Or?
I'm type 1 diabetic.
Oh, okay. Have you been for some time?
Yeah, 42 years.
Wow.
I became
Things
diabetic.
have changed a little bit.
I also just got my new CGM, which tells me every 5 minutes on my pump and my iPhone what my blood sugars are.
And you did not have that 40-something years ago,
no,
right?
I didn't even have.
So you just had to kind of go by where
Yeah.
the way you felt at the time. But now with this pump that she has, it connects directly inside so that it can tell her constantly what her blood sugars are. And like you said, it connects with her phone. So it alerts her on her phone. Right. That's amazing.
You know, otherwise, up until 2 weeks ago when I got it, I had been testing my blood 6 times a day minimum.
Oh, your poor fingers probably have no feeling.
And I'm glad they have a break now.
Aww.
But I always tested before I went on stage. I'd go to the ladies' room.
With your adrenaline rushing, it had probably changes. Like,
and I never knew that. You know that, but I didn't know that. But there's a spike in the blood sugars from your adrenaline rush. And I always wondered because I hadn't eaten anything before I got on.
Right.
And everything seemed okay. And then I get off stage and I've got these high blood sugars in the 200s. So I finally found out a couple of years ago that was why.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now you know, so you can prepare for that.
Right. And also for all of you type 2 and type 1 diabetics, I think another problem I had, I always test if it's an open mic or a show, I test in my car before I go home. One night I tested and I only had like a Diet Coke and a club soda and my blood sugar was 400.
Yikes.
The waitress gave me the wrong soda. She gave me regular soda. Okay. So since then I only have club soda.
Yeah, that's smart.
And I don't drink much alcohol at all. I never drink before I go on stage because for me it does the opposite. It slows me down. Okay. But maybe I'll have something after that.
And that's a lot too now that you mentioned it. That's a big part of comedy clubs is the drinking and people of a younger age who are just partying it up and having a great time, which is wonderful, but it's hard for us to keep up with something like that.
Exactly. You know, a lot of the young people are where I was many years ago. So I'm like past all the phases they're in, making a living, getting a family, getting married or not, owning a home. I'm past all that. Right. So it's there's this relatable factor that can get a little little weird. So they've asked me to join them with all kinds of things.
And you're like, I don't know if I can do that.
Nah, it's been a while. No, thank you.
So how can people find you and follow you?
I have some videos on YouTube, Susan Sussman Comedy. And I have a Facebook page, Susan Sussman Comedy, no website. And you can also friend me on my personal page, Susan Sussman.
Nice,
so,
awesome.
That's how they'll find me.
It's funny. All right, thank you so much for being here and for telling us all about everything and all things comedy and even about your diabetes.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you that you have that pump. What a difference.
Me too. Thank you.
So,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming
Thank
in.
you. Bye-bye.
And thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, take care of yourselves and don't forget to take care of each other.